Hi everyone, this is Sam Holmberg. Welcome to Learning and Unlearning. This is a place for authentic discussions only. We talk about self-improvement, wellness, relationships, and some interesting life events. Come on in. Good afternoon. It is spring and it is beautiful. It is my spring break starting today and I am pumped. I mentioned in the last episode about the weather because it started to make me a lot happier, and I have since then realized and acknowledged that I probably have SAD, which stands for Seasonal Affective Disorder. In today's podcast episode, I'm going to explain what seasonal affective disorder is, and also, of course, give some tips on how to ease that SAD in the season in which you feel the depression or seasonal depression. And I hope that people can maybe look into if they have this too, just by me sharing the way that SAD has affected me and what I plan to do about it in the future. First, I think there are some common misconceptions or common downplaying of SAD where people just say, oh, of course, it's winter and we live far from the equator, so it's darker and it's colder. People tend to hibernate, sort of, and want to be inside and cozy, and that affects our mood because you want to sleep more or have more comforting time. But I do want to challenge people to think like it could be seasonal affective disorder, and maybe you don't want to downplay the way that you feel because you could seek help and feel better in the winter instead of accepting the negative seasonal depression and just trudging through it. Seasonal affective disorder usually happens for people in the winter, and that's partially because they're getting less sunlight, less vitamin D, but it can happen in the summer as well. And what's interesting is that with SAD, the symptoms of SAD in the winter are the opposite of the ones in the summer. Oftentimes in the winter, people gain weight and they want to sleep extra long. And then in the summer, people lose weight because they've lost their appetite and they might have insomnia, so they can't sleep as much as normal. In winter, the days aren't as long with the sunshine, and people tend to get out less often because of the temperature and the types of activities that are available to us outside, or just our abilities to withstand the cold weather. And that can throw off the circadian rhythm, which means your body's internal clock is thrown off, and that can lead to depression. One tip for improving your sleep is to use melatonin if approved by your doctor or your own choice. And my episode 9, Sleep and Stress, explains a lot about creating a positive sleep environment and positive sleep habits or pre-sleep habits that help people decrease their stress and allow them to sleep better. So if you are thinking that melatonin and circadian rhythm can affect your seasonal depression, then you might want to go listen to episode 9 on sleep and stress as well. Because of the lack of sunlight, people might have a drop in serotonin in their brains, and you can actually buy those light therapy boxes that mimic the sun. You can ask your doctor about them, or you can do a quick Amazon search and see that light therapy boxes come in a variety of sizes and prices, and they can actually help you release those chemicals that you would release from being out in the sunlight, and that can boost your mood as well. It's normal to feel down on certain days, right? Everyone experiences that, and I would argue that everyone experiences some type of depression in their life, whether it's multiple times or clinical depression or just one time. I do think it happens to everyone. And what we need to be aware of is when our days of feeling down are frequent or strung together where it causes us to not be able to do the regular things that we do, like get out of bed and take care of ourselves, like eating meals or taking a shower or, being social. If we don't want to do those things or we can't make ourselves do those things, those are some signs that you're depressed and that you should go to the doctor to seek some help. Some other signs that have to do with seasonal affective disorder can be when people are turning to substances to feel comfort or less stressed. One of the symptoms of seasonal affective disorder in the summer is agitation or anxiety, and I got that from the Mayo Clinic. And to ease anxiety, sometimes people will, for example, drink alcohol, and that's a sign that if you're seeking the substance to feel better or to mask your feelings, that there is something off, and you could go to the doctor to help yourself address some of the feelings or the chemicals in your body that are off or causing you to feel depressed right now. This year has been hard anyways, with COVID and people trying to live their lives during this pandemic. My job has been especially difficult teaching through COVID and having a hybrid school. And so I was having weeks of thinking that everything kind of sucks and things aren't going so well. And I kept waiting, next week will be better, next week will be better, next month will be better. And it really wasn't. Nothing was getting better. And then, boom, at the change of the weather, about at the end of March, is when things started to feel so much happier to me. My circumstances had not changed, but my environment had changed, where I saw some hope for a new season. The weather was changing, and I was getting outside more, seeing the sunlight more, and it truly boosted my mood. That experience made me look into SAD because, of course, I've heard of it, and I bet you've heard of a lot of this before, but I didn't really think that I would be a candidate for it, and it turns out that I am. There's no need to downplay the way that we feel. We can acknowledge that the seasons affect us, and we can do simple things about it, like improving our sleep and using natural things like melatonin to sleep better, getting outside, or using a light therapy lamp in order to get that exposure to the sun and get the serotonin released in our brains. We can talk to our doctor, we can do other things. I've even had a friend who was told by her doctor to make sure that she goes on one trip in the winter per year to a warm place. So living in Vermont, she would need to take some time, maybe over February, vacation when the winter has been kind of long and people get tired of it, and go to the beach somewhere hot, be out in the sun so that she can make it through the rest of the winter when she comes home. I know that's not available to a lot of people because vacations cost a lot of money and also take time away from making money sometimes. So doing things that are in your control that have to do with light exposure and regulating your circadian rhythm can be free and helpful in the same way. Since most people experience SAD in the winter, it might be a weird time for me to bring up SAD because we're going into spring and summer and our symptoms will be going away. But this is a good time to note for yourself how to create these systems of sleeping well and getting outside, creating habits that don't go away in the fall. I might put something in my phone calendar that I use for everything, for all of my to-do lists. I might put something in there for September or October or November, because as the days get colder and less sunny for as many hours, I could have this reminder to keep these habits of sleeping well and making sure I'm exposed to the sun. So I invite you to do what works for you. Put a reminder in your phone now that's going to go off in the fall so that you can either plan out how to maintain this happiness with the season changes, or to schedule an appointment with your doctor for that time of year to make a plan or be diagnosed with SAD. About a month ago on social media, on Instagram, with my handle, The Sassiest Sam, I did a no phone in bed, like don't look at your phone before bed or when you wake up if you are in bed, because it disrupts your sleep and your peace and your privacy. And that brought up having a different alarm clock. So instead of having our phones next to our beds and using them as an alarm clock, there's this other alarm clock that simulates the sunrise, and the light is warm and gets brighter over time. So let's pretend that it wakes you up over 20 minutes, and so the light starts very faintly, and then it increases and gets brighter, and you wake up because of the light in the room. I really am interested in this alarm clock. I'll link it for you in the show notes, but I'm probably going to get it now because all these things that I'm learning, I'm thinking about how they come together, and sleep is affecting a lot of other parts of our lives. And so episode 9 on sleep and stress, and this other experiment of no phone in bed, which is tied to episode 10 of my podcast, it causing me to see that I should really buy this alarm clock, and maybe you're interested in it too. Well, thanks for considering your health with me today and thinking about whether or not you might want to incorporate some new habits or a doctor's appointment to help yourself be happier and more consistently undepressed and hopeful during all seasons of the year. You matter, your health matters, and you can advocate for yourself. Much love, Sam.